Accept returns or not to accept returns? That is the question. This is a question that has plagued resellers since the beginning of eBay. It's a question that I ask myself when I list. It's a question that I'm sure each reseller has thought about at least a million times before putting their items out there. I'm going to give you a scoop that may change your mind if you're going to accept returns or not. My name is Donald, and
This is Mars Bargain Basement.
all right, so the question is to accept returns or not. Uh, there is a whole bunch of opinions about whether or not to accept returns. I've been doing this now for almost 20 years, and I have had a rough go of different eBay policies, accepting returns, not accepting returns. So let's just go through the whole process and let's see if you should or should not accept returns. I know my answer, but I'm just going to give you the facts and see if we can't make a little bit of sense out of this. So when you create a listing, you have an opportunity in your preferences to accept returns or not. And when you accept returns, you can either accept them for 30 days or 60 days, and you can also have the return shipping paid either by the buyer or paid by the seller. Also, the method to return the funds is either through the money back or replacement. If you watch my past videos, I have so many opinions on this. So personally, this is just for me, and of course, what works for me may not work for you, and we'll talk about why sometimes it may not work. So I do allow returns for 30 days, and I do money back. But I do have the buyer pay shipping. So if they do a return and they do it just by requesting a return, that's the way it works. eBay has something called an eBay money back guarantee. So the eBay money back guarantee is what bites everyone in the behind. I've been bitten by it so many times. I just accept returns on everything, whether it's an as is or not. I sold an as is camera about a month ago, and the person returned it. They just returned it and said that it was not what they wanted. They went through the eBay money back guarantee, and even though I said no returns, and I said it was as is for parts, eBay said, "Go ahead, return it, charge the seller for the postage," which is exactly what they did. He returned it, and I ended up paying postage, so I ended up losing on that deal. So let's talk about eBay money back guarantee and how it works. The eBay website has an eBay money back guarantee policy that explains the entire money back guarantee. I'll put the link down below. I'll let you read it yourself, but I will talk about just a little bit here. So it says eBay money back guarantee covers most transactions on eBay. It should say covers all transactions on eBay from my experience. It means buyers can get their money back if an item didn't arrive, is faulty or damaged, or doesn't match the listing. Now, so much to say here. I want to make this video not very long, but I do want to express how I feel about the eBay money back guarantee. So I've had different users, or I'm sorry, I've had different buyers use the eBay money back guarantee. One, to get out for paying for shipping. Two, to return an item that wasn't quite the item that was sent to them. I have a video about that where I sent a Philips bulb to a person, and they sent me a broken LED bulb in return, saying that it wasn't what I sent them. Long story short, won the battle but lost the war for that one. I did win my case after multiple appeals, but I still got dinged for using eBay to solve or to resolve the issue. Um, I don't know. It's a lose-lose situation sometimes when it comes to eBay, but it's still one of the best places to sell your items, I think, right now, based on the amount of traffic they get daily. So anyway, to continue about the eBay policy, money back guarantee policy. So it covers when the buyer says they didn't receive an item. That's a plus, but it's also a negative. So I've heard and I've read about buyers saying they haven't received an item. The good thing is, if a buyer does say they did not receive an item, if you can prove to eBay that the tracking shows that it says delivered, then that's all eBay needs for you to win the case. As long as it says delivered, the seller is covered. Let me rephrase that. As long as it says delivered, the seller should be covered when they provide this information to eBay themselves. I've had zero, at this point, knock on wood, issues with someone saying the item did not arrive. I have a lot of issues with arriving on time, but that's nothing I can do. That's the Postal Service's issue, not mine. So that's the first one on the list. That one you can get around if you have enough data to support your case. The second is the item received by the buyer doesn't match the listing. You may have sent the wrong item, or the item that the buyer received is broken or damaged, or it's faulty. So in your listing, make sure you're 100% accurate with your description. If there's a scratch on it anywhere, make sure that scratch is described in your listing. Therefore, when the buyer purchases the item and they attempt to say that it's not based on the listing, you can go back to the listing and say the description says, and point out where you said that there was a scratch or something was broken. Just make sure that you are extremely accurate in any damage on the item which you're sending. It has come back and it has saved me multiple times. It sounds like I have a lot of returns. Let me go back. I don't have a lot of returns, but the returns I do have are things where people are trying to send back an item that wasn't the item that I sent, even though I know I sent the right item. They're just trying to send it back. Or they send back DVDs or games that have scratches all over them when I know I sent them without scratches. So there's a lot of ways that buyers try to, I don't want to say scam, or they just try to get an item and not have to pay for it. They're trying to replace the broken item that they have. And just take lots of pictures, be very descriptive, and just make sure that you're always covering your backside when it comes to selling. I've even got to the point now where I'll video me packing the item up, and I'll put the video on YouTube somewhere, not this channel, but I'll put it on YouTube, so when the person does say it, I can say, okay, go to this YouTube, give them the link, and here's me packaging your item, and it will show me packaging their item and what it looked like when I put it in the box and taped it up. Make sure there are no cuts in your video. Make sure that there's a clock or some sort of timer in your video that shows the time. Also some sort of calendar that's on the screen, not one that you digitally put there, but a physical in frame that can be seen. So both eBay and the buyer can see that here's the time it took, here's the date, I didn't digitally enhance it, this is what it is. So I know it sounds like doing a lot, but if you want to make sure not to minimize your returns, or to at least let the buyer know that you have full video of everything that you've done in regards to packaging the item, I think it's going to save your behind um, in the long run. At least I hope so. It's helped me several times. One of the items that I was reading on here, that the seller, sorry, that the buyer, if they change their mind, they can return the item. So it's buyer's remorse, and what you can do in regards to that, you don't have to pay for buyer's remorse. You can work a deal out with them. You can have the item sent back as a return and then refund them partial of your money. That's totally up to you. Buyer's remorse is not covered under the eBay money back guarantee, unless, of course, they'll pick one of the three categories and then send it back. So, reading through this, and I'll put the link down below. There are some exclusions of what's covered and what's not covered. But I just wanted to make a quick video and put out there, something that was on my mind and something that I felt like needed to be talked about. I think the eBay money back guarantee policy is a good start. And I've said this plenty of times before. It's a great start to help protect the buyer, but there needs to be some sort of protection for the seller as well. I know eBay's bread and butter is mostly from people from buying, but without the sellers, the buyers wouldn't have anything to purchase. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point, and maybe the whole video was me rambling. But just to reiterate, me personally, I put returns out there for everything because I know that the eBay money back guarantee policy is going to force me to accept returns anyway. So there's really no way around it. eBay is forcing the sellers to do things that normally wouldn't do because of their policies. So I just ask that each one of you, pay close attention to how you describe your items, and do what's best for you. That's the only thing I can suggest. My commentary is my opinion only. I'm not being forced to say it. No one's holding a gun to my head. It's just what I've learned over the 20 years. So I hope my experience can help you as well. I know it's not good news to put stuff out there as, don't return it, but it is what it is. eBay will be what it be. And sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do in order to continue to play the game. So that's the way it is, peeps. I appreciate it. If you like this video, I'm full of commentary. I can create more. Please like, subscribe. I appreciate it. I hope everyone's doing well. I know I haven't been on for a while. I had some issues I had to take care of. But hey, I'm back. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks.